it's Melissa and I'm back with another video, and today I am joined by Dillon Phaneuf from Evo Fit YXE. So he has his own company, Evolution Fitness.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, you tell me about yourself. You're better at it.
So my main thing that I'm here for is Evolution Fitness YXE, which is I started as an online-based coaching and nutrition business, as well as now we're moving into the one-on-ones now that I've got Bryant on the team. So just enjoying the growth at the moment.
And all based out of Saskatoon.
Yeah, you betcha. I mean, I'll help anyone. I have lots of people from all over the place because my following is all over, but I'm trying to centralize it more locally now that I'm here. So
okay, the reason I'm interviewing Dillon today is because he has lost an insane amount of weight. I guess you could speak to it a little bit, but you've lost almost 150 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm probably like, at this very moment sitting here, I'm probably like 135.
Yeah.
I kind of fluctuate. Everyone asks me, it could range from like 120 to 150 pounds lost, depending at where I'm at. So yeah, roughly 140 pounds, I guess. Which
is crazy. That's insane. So I've got a bunch of questions here. Dillon gave me full permission to ask any question that I wanted about his weight loss journey, so I got into it. At the end, if we have a little bit of time, I'm gonna go over some questions that you guys asked on Instagram. I'm going to work through your journey chronologically, because that makes the most sense to me. Okay. So we're gonna start right at the beginning.
Okay.
First question, what triggered your initial weight gain? I
knew you were gonna ask this. There's kind of like, it was like not one thing, it was like, and honestly, we're going back quite a few years now, but like, it was a bad, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. Kind of like a series of things happened that led into it. Mm-hmm. So I was in a long-term relationship. Yep. From the time I was like 14, 15, really young. Wow. And I was like 20, 21 when I kind of started this whole thing. So just before I did start, that kind of ended very abruptly, very out of nowhere. About a week later, and it wasn't that I planned this, it was just I already had the appointment set up. I was on high blood pressure medication.
At 21?
Yeah, and high cholesterol pills. Mm-hmm. And then I went to the doctor and found out I was pre-diabetic. Okay. So he was giving me 3 months to do something about it. And if I didn't, then I was gonna have to go on medication for that. That was hard, very emotionally hard on me. The next 2 days was kind of, and it still didn't push me over the edge, but like I just knew I felt bad about myself. I was thinking, man, you're not even 22, gonna be on like 3-4 types of medication. You know, this is just not good. At the time, I was working at a dealership in sales, and coincidentally, about a week after that, one of the guys suggested that we should do a Biggest Loser. It was like 3 months till Christmas. Yeah. And we would all chip in, geez, I can't remember, 100 or 200 bucks into a pot. And then whoever won would have like kind of a nice little Christmas thing on a break. Ended up being like 1,600 bucks. So wow. I mean, it was quite a bit. There was like 8 or 9 guys. I'd take it. Yeah. So actually the worst thing, and I think it's because it was public. The other things I dealt with in private. Yeah. And someone had brought a scale from home, and I was waiting my turn in line. Yeah. And the guy in front of me turned around and said, "Dillon, how much do you think you weigh?" And at the time, keep in mind, I didn't have any clue. Like, I knew what I did weigh at one time, like 4 years prior to that. Yeah. So I said, well, I know I've gained some weight. I'm probably 250. Okay. Maybe 255. So lo and behold, it's my turn to get on the scale, and when I looked down, it said 297. I'm 5'6". I don't have a big frame. You know, I was wearing a size 44 pants, 46 pants sometimes, 2 extra large shirt. So I just remember going home and thinking, okay, I got to do something about this.
Question number 1 out of the way, 19 more to go. So I guess you actually kind of answered this already. The second question was, what was your rock bottom? So that was your rock bottom. For sure.
I think that the rock bottom came before the change. Yeah. The rock bottom was actually leaving the doctor's office, because that was an emotional time for me. Being that it was like a compilation of that heartbreak and then having that, you know, that extreme stress of thinking like, man, I'm gonna be on all these medications, and I didn't really know what to do. So that was probably the rock bottom, and then me starting to climb out was that deciding to do something about it, you know? Yeah.
Okay, what was your biggest battle with losing weight? Like, what was something that you really struggled, or you felt like you were just like hitting your head up against a wall at certain points? Like, what was something?
So there was 2 points. One, I'm gonna give you a mental point, and 2, I'll give you a physical.
Okay.
So like literally at the time, guys, I was probably eating, I don't know, but like in my head I want to say, like, to maintain with the knowledge of nutrition I have in science, to maintain that I was probably eating like between 7,000 and 9,000 calories a day.
Whoa.
To be consistently, I was consistently gaining weight, you know, when I look back at like what I remember weighing, you know, that's a very brief estimation, but so like literally the beginning for me was I switched to eating Subway at lunchtime, and I lost like 30 pounds.
Like one choice.
Like diets, sodas, because I would eat like 2 adult meals from Wendy's or you know, Burger King. Like I would have a Whopper meal and then like a large onion rings or like chicken strips on the side.
Yeah.
You know, and like a huge pail of Coke or whatever.
Yeah.
So I lost probably close to 100 pounds. I lost 80 to 90 pounds, like bam, like probably in 4 months, 6 months.
Wow.
It was fast. I don't remember. I never thought I would be here. I wish I would have documented some things better.
Yeah.
And it's kind of why I don't have a lot of great pictures of that. Like I don't have these awesome progress pictures because
you
honestly,
weren't in there.
I thought like if I could weigh 250, I would be like this fighting machine. You know, like honestly. For me, the struggle was I couldn't break 200.
Okay.
Once I realized that was a thing, that took probably as long to get that last 12 pounds under 200 than it did to get from like 295 to 212 or 211 or something.
So that was your plateau.
Yeah, so I plateaued hard there, and it was like, what am I doing? Briefly, the other mental thing is I was a hell on wheels kind of guy. So like I was torn because it didn't take me long and I loved fitness, but I also still like drinking beer and, you know, spinning wheels in the weekend.
Yeah.
So like I was doing the fitness thing in the week and then kind of doing the party thing in the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's not so much the results that was hindered. I mean, obviously it probably was, but it was feeling so torn. Like I would feel like crap on the weekend but I would also feel like crap if I stayed home because like the boys were going without me, you know, so I was never really happy. So I had to make a choice, and thankfully I think I made the right one anyway.
So I think you're good. What was something you were surprised by when you were losing weight? And this, I guess I could preface it by when I got to kind of a certain weight, I thought I'd feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And then, so something that really surprised me when I kind of did a little bit of a transformation was like, oh, I thought I was gonna feel like a supermodel, and like, why don't I feel like a supermodel? Like, there's just that, the expectation versus the reality, I guess.
Well, for me, it happened like a lot of times, right? Because I lost so much weight, like I just touched on before. Honestly, you guys, I thought when I thought, man, if I could just weigh 250 and be like a 38 pants, like I'm gonna have these women and I'm gonna have these things, you know, like honestly.
Yeah.
And then I got there and I'm like, oh, I look still like ass, you know, for lack of a better term. And then that kept happening. I was super surprised that like I kept hitting these goals, and then I'm like, huh,
I'm not there yet.
It was motivating, but like still you'd be like, man, I thought I would, what do I do? This was gonna be, I never kind of thought I would get here. Yeah. And now I am.
If you had to explain your weight loss in 3 steps or 3 words, what would it be?
Oh, that's a
3
good
words, I like that one better.
3 words better? Okay.
Yeah.
I would go plan, prepare, execute. Okay. It's pretty simple, but and cliche, but like really it's that simple.
Yeah.
Thought and a dream is great, but if you do no action, that's all it is. But jumping just falls into something without any kind of idea. Yeah. I mean, a brief idea is a recipe to fail, right? Yeah.
How would you describe what you see in the mirror now compared to what you saw in the mirror 140 pounds ago?
That's a good question, and I'm gonna answer it honestly. Like I said, it's weird because I don't fully remember what I used to think about myself when I looked in the mirror. I mean, I see a picture and I'm like, oh. Yeah. But like at the time, honestly, I don't know that much has changed. Okay. You know, like I said, my body just, I mean, I do feel way better about myself for sure, but like my mind and everything, my body caught up to my mind. I was that guy, I'd get to the beach and like top off, like let's rock it. Yeah.
So you were just happy everywhere. You didn't like.
It didn't bother me.
No. Okay.
It did subconsciously. Like obviously, there's subconscious mind and is different from the live mind, but like it did, and I never honestly, like I said, I never went to bed thinking like, oh, I feel so bad about myself and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. What would you say to your 295-pound self, or somebody who may be in that position that wants to start making a change?
Really, you know, and I get this a lot, and I think because of the fitness community, sometimes when I make a post, they don't understand necessarily who I'm targeting to, because I'll make a post or make a social or something that says like, literally guys, eat less, move more. It's that simple.
Yeah.
People try to complicate things, and right now we have such a fear-mongering society. Like, someone will create a problem and then give you the solution.
Yeah.
I've been in sales for 10 years. That's sales. That's old school. Like, think of some better tactics already. You know, like,
yeah.
There's ways to sell things. I provide a service, but like, I don't want to complicate things for people. I want to make it easy for them, because ultimately they're not going to adhere to it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I tell people all the time, like people that are really like where I was at, they think like they're gonna get this program of all these things, and it's like, well, you're gonna maybe be in the gym twice a week, and then you're gonna take some walks after supper and maybe lunch if your job if you're available to just get outside and walk for 5 minutes that way and 5 minutes back. Yeah. And we're gonna cut out like pop and chips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It's
and
simple.
I mean, everyone thinks like in the beginning, it's like, I want to do all these things, and you know, you don't really need to.
No.
There's a time for that.
Yeah.
But you don't need to, and it make it harder on yourself for adherence purposes.
So simple is better.
Simple is better.
I think we've probably already answered this, but what's the hardest thing about losing weight?
Adherence. Okay. For sure. 95% of people that are overweight, whether that's genetic predisposition or both, self and genetics, at some point in their life will lose a significant amount of weight. 97% of those people will gain it back, and then usually some more. Okay. We don't have, as a society, we don't have a problem losing weight. No. And that's why I think the small following that I have has been attracted to me, is because I've seemed to be able to not only lose it, that's one thing, but like keep it off, change my mindset, change my life. Yeah. My life is totally different, you know? If someone would have told me this 5 years ago, I would have been like, yeah,
mind blown.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received or heard or have, and what's the worst piece of advice?
Oh, that's a very good question. The best piece of advice that I got was from my old coach, and I'm still in touch with him a little bit. He kind of just, we had a Skype call one day, and I was very confused. Like, I didn't know, I felt like I had to live my life a certain way and justify it to other people. But that's not right. It's because it made me happy. Yeah. And he was just, you know, and I had heard it before, and I don't know if it was just ready to accept it, that it was just like, just do you. Yeah. And really things got a lot better when I stopped worrying about what everyone else said and did, you know?
Yeah. And I think that goes back to you saying that at first you were not doing it for yourself. Yes. Like the weight loss, you were just doing it to like prove other people wrong.
That's right.
And so, yeah, once you started focusing on you and focusing on why you needed to do the things you were doing, that probably.
For sure did it. And as for the worst piece of advice, there's so much, you know, like it's just like
it's not hard
pinball
to
machine going on. There was probably, it's the same advice, but from a small circle of people told me to quit. Yeah. Or like, not necessarily quit lifting weights and quit the journey. It was just like, you'll never be able to be a personal trainer, or like, well, you're gonna have all this loose skin. There was multiple reasons, but the end advice was quit for some reason, or limit myself. Not necessarily just quit, but like, those goals are they're unattainable for you, you know, like look what you look like, or look what you did look like and stuff. And I'm really happy I didn't listen to that. Good. Because I've yet to accomplish something I said I was going to. Yeah. And I don't plan on starting anytime soon.
There you go. What does healthy lifestyle or balance, or like what is an ideal
I love this
lifestyle to you?
I love this question. Balance. Look, I'm getting all fired up because that word.
Getting excited.
Balance. balance is whatever you want it to be. You know, there's all kinds of physical activity, and whatever you'll adhere to and makes you happy, that's balance.
Okay, so balance is different for everybody.
I believe so. Anyway,
and your balance and my balance are two different things.
Two different things, right?
Okay.
It's just like people look and say, well, I could never do that because X or because of Y, you know, like, oh, well, I got these things. I understand everyone's life is different, and that's why my business is very individually based. Like, I understand people have kids and people have, they're not gonna, if I tell them to eat these crazy things, they're not gonna cook supper for the kids, usually different, and then if they had a husband and then they're gonna eat, so they're gonna cook 3 suppers. No, that's stupid. They're not gonna adhere to that. So like, everyone's balance is a little bit different, and it pertains to where you're at in life. It's that easy.
Do you feel like you've arrived?
No, I don't, and I don't know that I ever will. And that kind of, I believe that's one of my separators. That's why, I mean, I might not ever get to where I'm going or want to go, but there already has been points where people are like, oh, you're this guy, you're that guy, and it's like, oh, me? You know, and I just feel like a regular guy, and I truly just want to help people. That's I know that's super cliche, but I just want to lift weights and help people.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Very simple. What is your biggest insecurity now, and what was your biggest insecurity when you were overweight? This is deep. I don't know. I don't think people often talk about their insecurities, but
I know mine because I do a lot of self-reflection. So are we talking physically?
I'm talking physical. Yeah, physical insecurities.
So my insecurities, physical, haven't really changed a whole bunch, a tad. I always carried a lot of weight, like in my ass and my love handles. Like, that's where I'm almost like a chick in that way. Like, I feel like I was born to have kids or something. I carry this layer of fat like right here. So if I was self-conscious that I can remember about something, I know I used to sit in my desk and stuff, and I would always be like adjusting because everything, it just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I was at a complex that it was like everything was touching my shirt. I don't know, that's a very crappy explanation, but like,
no, I think, that makes, I mean, it makes sense to me.
I was always fidgeting, you know, it was just like I could never get it. Sitting in the car even, I'd like put my arm behind my back to...
Yeah. I have a funny story. I don't think I've ever talked about this. When I was at my heaviest, I wouldn't, like, if I wore a seatbelt, like, I would be moving my seatbelt so that it would like come up underneath my stomach so that it would like lift it up a little bit because I was so uncomfortable. Okay, you're gonna fill in the blank.
Ooh.
Food to me is blank.
Bay.
Bay? I was like picturing like a bay, like on an ocean.
No, that's super corny, but like honestly, I'm glad you asked this because I deal with all kinds of people, right? So either people that want to gain weight or lose weight. The people that want to track their food to the T don't need to. Yeah. And the people that should don't want to. Yeah. You know what's funny? I don't think I ever threw food in the garbage. Not once in my life could I remember going to the garbage can and being like, I'm done with this. But like, if I selected that food, I don't think I've ever thrown food in the garbage. Like, I eat what's there, and that's why I'm a foodie. Yeah. I like to eat. Yeah. So again, it's all relative, right? You know, food to me, I like food. I've been part of some big groups of people that have lost a lot of weight, whether that's online, and I never know if it's BS or if it's true. People are like, oh, I don't like the taste of that no more, I lost this weight. And I'm like, I wish. I'm like, man, if they made cal-free blizzards, yeah, bring them on. Yeah. So, food to you is bae. Yeah, food to me is bae. Okay. Words to live by. This can be fitness, health related, but it can also just be whatever. Do what you fear, don't fear what you do. Okay. I love that. Taken. Now this last one, you've probably alluded to it over the whole 20 questions, but why do you do what you do? I started off doing it to prove people wrong. And then I moved into that, I was doing it to maybe get attention, because I'd never had any. Yep. And then I moved to trying to, you know, I got out of that so much because it got old, and doing it to help people. But when I started helping people, I was still maybe a little bit confused on how I was going to do that and how I could do that. And now it's really, really simple. The people that support me now, whether that's online or in real life, it would be so hard for me to give up because I love this and I have big goals for myself, but I have a lot of people that I'm being accountable to. You know, so that I know a lot of people that have any sort of following or people that are in their corner will say that. I mean, literally, just like yesterday, I didn't have a good workout yesterday, and that doesn't happen to me very often. But like, you know, I couldn't find a song that was like, it just wasn't, nothing was in tune, and I couldn't get a proper pump, and but I did it, right? Like I grinded it out. Yeah. And oftentimes when that happens to me, I think like, okay, the day before I had done the SassFit Instagram takeover, and people were watching me, so like I bossed up. Well, pretend that's happening right now. Like these people are watching you, they're looking for you to motivation, inspiration, all these things. Get to work. Yeah.
So always act like somebody's watching.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks guys for listening today.
Yeah, absolutely. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'm gonna leave Dillon's Instagram account in the description box below. Do you have like a website?
Yeah, I have a website. Yeah.
I'll put the website in the description box as well for you to guys go check it out. If you have any questions for Dillon whatsoever, make sure to go leave them in the comment section below, or you can head on over to his Instagram account and you can ask him there as well.
I'll give you guys, so there'll be Instagram, Facebook, my website, maybe even email if people want to do that, but don't be scared to reach out. I mean, I give away a lot of content on my Instagram. I know people look at the pictures like a book, but if you actually read them, there is a lot of good content in there. And I'm not one of these people that's chasing the dollar. I'm not going to try to sell you something. If you have just a basic question, obviously I'm a coach, I can't give away it all, but I will help you the best I can. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. And that's a wrap.